Previously on Atmosphere of Heaven.
I want to talk about Jesus is distinguished. We are answering the question of who is Jesus. Let's begin with Colossians chapter 1, and we are reading verse 15. He says, who is the image of the invisible God. So now he says God is invisible. He exists in a realm called invisible. He is the invisible God. So we cannot see him. He is invisible. We cannot reach him. He is invisible. God is invisible. So he is not just the self-existing God. He is also the self-revealing God. But there's Jesus that we can see. So he says Jesus is the image. God is invisible, but we can see him. He has taken on a body. So he's part of what has been created, but he is not created. But this Jesus is separate from what was created because he created what was created. So the supremacy of Jesus is that he created what was created. By him were all things created. You know, Job said, where shall I find wisdom? He says, I go to the depths of the sea. The depths of the sea says, I have not seen wisdom. I go to the heights of the mountain. The mountain says, I have not seen wisdom. So where is this wisdom? Where is this God? He is invisible. So he can only be found by coming. If he cannot reveal himself, we cannot know him. He is invisible. He is not just self-existing. He is also self-revealing. So Jesus Christ is the true God that is come from the true God. Is the true light that is come from the true light. So we are saying Jesus is different. Even the way he spoke about himself, no man ever spoke like that. No man ever made such claims. The other day he said, I came down from heaven. He said, I came down from heaven. At the age of 12, he said, I must be about my Father's business. So Jesus is here and he tells them, guys, I'm the one that Moses spoke about. I'm the one that Jeremiah spoke about. I'm the one that John has come to prepare the way for. I am the one that has made their ministry necessary. In other words, without Jesus, their ministry is irrelevant. Their ministry is because of Jesus. Before they were, he is. That is what he told them. He says, before Abraham was. That is what he means. Before Abraham was relevant. Abraham's relevance finds relevance in me. Then he says, come unto me. What an invitation. Come unto me. Now, realize, when he says, come unto me, he's speaking unto us to come to him in the light of that revelation that the Father has given us of him. So he says, come unto me. So this coming, he says, come unto me, you that are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. He begins now to show us his office, to show us who he is. Hallelujah. So now when he says, come unto me, this is the call of God. It's no longer a man just calling on another man, come. No, it's a call of salvation. Hosea chapter 11. Let's begin from verse 7. My people are determined to turn from me. Wow. Imagine. My people are determined to turn from me. Even if they call to the Most High, he will by no means exalt them. Verse 8. But look at what God is saying. He says, how can I give up on Ephraim? Nawezaji. Oh, Nehemiah recording, he says, how much of a merciful God you are. He says, even when they forsook you in the wilderness, you did not forsake them. You did not forsake them. You did not forsake them. But he says, how can I give up? How can I give up on Israel? How can I give up on Ephraim? How? Why? Because my compassion for them is aroused. Look at it in NLT. My compassion. My compassion. Look at it. It says, my heart is torn within me and my compassion overflows. There's another version that says, my compassion burns. It says, the reason I cannot give up on them, Jackson, is because of my compassion. There are people who are determined to turn away from me. But my compassion, why? Verse 9. Why? Why? Why does this compassion not fail even when you fail? Why? Because, look at it, I will not execute the fierceness of my anger. I will not turn to destroy Ephraim. For I am God, I am not a man. I am God, I am not a man. That is the reason. Jesus is separate. His compassion burns. His compassion burns. It says, for I'm not a man. How can I give up? And those were the questions that were going on in his mind on that cross. As he was carrying that cross, I like John's version. He says he carried the cross and headed to Golgotha. It's beautiful. He carried the cross. He carried it. He carried it. He didn't drop it on the way. Think about all the shame. But he says, my compassion. His compassion. His compassion. His compassion burns. He says, I cannot give up on these people that keep rejecting me because I am not a man. I am God. He is more than a man. He is God in the flesh. He is more than a man. Moses would fail. Moses failed. Jeremiah failed. They were overwhelmed with emotions and anger. Ezekiel failed. Isaiah failed. All of them failed. But he reviled not. Jesus. He reviled not. He was led like a sheep that is going to be roasted, before its shearers, helpless in the hands of sinful men whom he loved.